Good evening and welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 150. I'm Ron.
I'm Shane.
And we're here to talk slot cars. So tonight basically starts us on our third year of Between the Lanes. It was 2 years ago, I guess. I'm not going to say tonight, but
right.
Actually the first show went up like 2 years ago, one day last week. So tonight we start our third year. So I don't know. I'm still having fun doing it. I guess Shane's still having fun doing it. He's still on the show with me every week. So
I won't lie. I have my weeks where it's just like, oh, God.
Well, yeah, me too. But so anyway, again, welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 150. And I'm waiting for this to call. There we go. Find us on YouTube, Slot Racers, the channel, 150 episodes, some special episodes, and some how-to videos. On Facebook, Between the Lanes is the page. And we don't have very many race results from last weekend. And I know there was a big drag race, and I kind of missed some of the results. I don't even know if I seen the results, but Bash on the Bayou race took place. And I was trying to find results earlier today and wouldn't have much luck. So we'll try and maybe have some of that next week for the drag racers. So anyway, this is like the international race results episode. So last week they had their first race at the Tuscany Slot Racing Center in Italy. And I guess that's like kind of the first race since the virus started over there. So
yeah, I think I've seen some of the pictures from it.
Right. So they had two races. I don't know if they raced two classes, but they definitely raced like 1/32 scale Eurosport cars with Phoenix motors in them. That has to be pretty, well, I say it's kind of wild, but it's probably a little bit tamer than a regular Eurosport car. So, or they're pretty close. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Phoenix motor is pretty sporty, but a Eurosport motor can be a lot sportier too. So, anyway, so there was two races. In the first race, Igneri was the winner. Paulo Trujillo was second. And I can't see who the third place guy is because this stupid bar is in my way, but it doesn't show up on the show. That's kind of weird. I don't know how to move this, but you can see it on your screen. You can see the top 15 finishers. And then in the second race, Igneri was the winner. Rigoli was second, and Roberto Igneri was third. So Francisco won. I don't know if they're brothers or I don't know what the story is there, but they had 23 for that race. And I couldn't really find, there was no pictures posted of the cars of the second class, so I don't know for sure, but they had two races, and that's the report I have. And then they raced at the Czech Republic at the Atan Slot Racing Club. It was the memorial race for 2020. They ran two races. They were two-man team races. I believe they ran 24th production cars. Again, there was no photos of cars to know exactly what they were racing. In the first team race, Horky and Recheck were the winners. Paces was second. Zimlicka and Flazig was third. In race 2, it was Karlik and Gotthard was the winning team. Paces were second. And Horky and Recheck were third. So then they combined the results between the two races. So the overall combined results, Horky Recheck first, Paces second, Karlik and Gotthard was the third place team overall. So that's all the information I kind of had from that race. And so that's all I know on that. Whoa, getting ahead of ourselves here. Okay, so on tonight's show, we have some giveaways. So two people are going to be winners on Between the Lanes tonight. So Justin Colvin Racing, otherwise known, a.k.a. JCR Products, is going to give away, or asking us to give away, I should say, 2 of their pit caddies. And the winners will have a choice of color. So they have black. I'm going to call that like a royal blue, red, and then kind of a powder lighter shade of blue. Maybe there's more colors, but this is what they sent me for a picture. So anyway, whoever wins will get their choice of colors. Please note that the Pit Caddy pitcher has braid juice oil and tools and stuff in it. That does not come with your Pit Caddy. And here is a picture of the Pit Caddy. So I guess when they designed this, they revised it by putting a lid and stuff on it. So it's like a little box with the Pit Caddy in it. I think that you can remove from it, and then you can carry it with you station to station. And it looks like it has other removable parts. So I haven't seen one in person, but the pictures, they look pretty cool. So we're going to give away 2 of those here later in the show. And we will thank Justin Colvin for his donation. And I guess it's a birthday present. I don't know. So anyway, so with that said, it's your cue, Shane.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Okay, so this weekend we got a lot going on. So East Coast Flexi Series is at Fast Tracks Valley, Pennsylvania. That's their championship race for the 2019-2020 season. AWRA is in. They have events scheduled in both Greenville, Tennessee, and Downriver, Michigan. Well, I shouldn't say Downriver, Michigan. Downriver and Lincoln Park, Michigan. Mid-South is at Turn and Burn in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The weekend of the 22nd, AWRA is at Upstate Speedway. The Southern California Retro Racing Association has their Western States race at Buena Park. Retro East is at Fast Tracks Valley, Pennsylvania. And last weekend of this month, the 29th, East Coast Flexi Series is at Speed Zone for I think it's a special race. Like it's because their new series starts in September, so they're having it's the Garden. It's like the Garden State something race, and yeah. So the Formula 2000 Nats will be at Chicagoland. Gator Retro Racing Region is at the Raceway Biz down in Melbourne, Florida. And also this weekend, I missed it because it's over here on the other side. But this weekend is F2000 Wing Cars at Chicagoland. So you got F2000 this weekend, and then you'll have the F2000 Nats at Chicagoland in 2 weeks. And then on Sunday, because Saturday is the F2000 Nats, and then on Sunday they're having a USRA warm-up race due to them also hosting USRA Nats in September for Wing Cars. So there you go. So with that said, a couple of special notes, I guess, or so the Flexi Palooza race, which was scheduled for next weekend, the 22nd, it has been rescheduled for September 19th at Downriver in Lincoln Park, Michigan. That's due to the COVID situation where they can help. Right now, they only have 10 or less people in the building, or gatherings of 10 or less. Vetro Proxy Can-Am races, they've been delayed a little bit. The first race will be in October. The Ohio Challenge Cup Series is also delaying their start. Their first race will be November. So no OCC races in September or October. They will start in November. And on the note of AWRA, Steve Adkins, who runs that organization, was recently in the hospital with COVID-related issues. He is now, last I read, off the ventilator and breathing on his own and slowly, I guess, recovering. I'll put it that way. So we wish Steve well, and they have been doing updates on Facebook. So he seems to be getting better, and that's great news. And just another side note. So this show, some people refer to as a podcast. Today I seen it somewhere on Facebook. They were talking about an HO Racing podcast. It's called HO Racing Today. I think they're probably up to their, I don't know, 19th, 20th, 22nd. I don't know how many actual podcasts they've done, but I listened to a couple just because I knew of some of the history. And it's a pretty cool podcast. There's no visual or no video part of it. It's just you're listening to a podcast. So pretty cool history there of the early days of HO racing. Some of the crossover of HO and 24 scale, because a lot of guys race 24th and they start racing HO. So I listened to the podcast. Actually, I listened to two of them today. One in its entirety, the other one just part of it. One was about the 72 HO Nats at Parma International Raceway in Ohio. And the other one was with Mark Rosenwinkel, who was the first Hopper director and a many-time Hopper National champion. So I listened to that whole thing. That was pretty cool. So if you've been around for a while, you could probably listen to those and relate. But Mark Rosenwinkel was very good about talking about racing and how the racing, I don't know how to say this, but one of his things was a lot of his life lessons he learned through racing slot cars.
Right.
And he said, he goes, it comes down to this, like when you have a 2 or 3 minute lane change, some guys do really well at that and some don't. So his thing was like, not only do you have to go and like get your car and pitch your car and change the lanes and then you got to go hook your controller up and all that stuff. He says some people, can do that in 2 minutes and they're standing there for a minute waiting for the race to start. And then he says some people are running over there, grabbing the controller as the power comes on. And, he's like, people that are there early, that's kind of how they are in life. And the guys that are late are probably usually late to work every day and stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of humorous, but it does in a way kind of make some sense too. So, and one of his things too, and I never really thought about this, and I've never really thought about this or done this, but if you get over to the panel, and you're hooked up, you're ready to go with a minute or 30 seconds to go, you're kind of a little more relaxed, and you realize, okay, I'm racing next to two different people here this heat than I was the last heat, and you can kind of think about that and kind of maybe, I don't know, plot some strategy or, maybe, okay, so, Joe Blow is next to me and he has a problem coming off in this turn all the time, so I have to be aware of that. Where guy runs over, grabs his controller, and he's huffing and puffing, and he's not realizing who he's next to, and that can cause problems sometimes too. So I thought it was kind of interesting and kind of a little opened my mind a little bit. So I hope at my next race I'm not sitting there dwelling on who I'm racing next to now, but I'll be like that damn Rosenwinkel. Now he's got me all messed up. But yeah. So Mark Rosenwinkel was also a pretty successful 124 slot car racer in wing cars. When I started racing, he was racing, I remember like Group 27s and semi-pro, and he was a pretty successful racer. He was the guy that would always have a stack of bodies. I mean, he would have 20, 30 like brand new complete wing car bodies and just pin on a car and try it. And I don't know if he was into the whole testing different stuff or but like back in the day, we would go to a Midwest USRA race and everybody would show up Saturday morning, except for the pros. They'd come in through the day, but we'd start racing like Group 12 or box stock, and then they go in international, and then they go into 27 and semi-pro and pro. And it wasn't a 2-day event; it was a 1-day event. So usually the pro races were being run in the very early hours of the morning, or maybe like they might finish at 6 a.m. on Sunday. But a lot of guys would sit around like Rosenwinkel, he would build bodies all day. Like, well, he's waiting to, he's got to wait for 2 or 3 classes before he races. So he would use his time and build bodies. And I remember guys would sit there and they'd be cutting steel chassis, because we used to hand cut them out of spring steel back then. So, some guys they get there early to practice, but then they couldn't do nothing for 3, 4, or 5 hours. So they, like, I'm gonna start building a new chassis for the next race, or,
right.
So yeah, it was always a beehive of activity. That was kind of cool. So, it's just the way it was back then. And then, we eventually got to running 2-day events, and I don't know. I don't know if that way was bad or if it was good. It was just different. It made sense to go to 2-day events.
Right.
Because like you said, you could show up, but you didn't know really what time you were actually going to race. But you had plenty of time to prep. So,
right.
I think it made for a more of a close-knit family, if you will. Because if, like, for example, back then, if they'd have been 2-day events, I would have never seen guys like Pfeiffer and Chubba and Mike Swiss and the guys that were racing Group 7 semi-pro, because they would have never showed up on Saturday when we were there racing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's like when I went to the Nats in Peachtree,
Right.
I left, and I think the day after I left, Chubby and Youth and all those guys showed up.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, more people, I guess you could say, were introduced to people that they might have only read about in magazines at the time or something. It was like these mythical creatures that, like they exist, but I've never seen one, so.
Right.
So then, I mean, of course, when they went to 2-day events, then there wasn't that crossover, unless you were really racing late Saturday night, and those guys started showing up Saturday night to get practice.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there was more of a crossover between all the different classes. So, so that's that. But yeah, HO today, or HO Racing Today is the podcast. So if you any interest in HO Racing, that's your place. So, and I hope I wish them luck, and I hope they do well. I think that's a pretty informative show. Just the 2 episodes I listened to. So there you go. So I guess we can do some giveaways. Yeah. There will be more. Do what?
Said you haven't misplaced the bucket, have you? You haven't had that thing out in a while.
It's right here, buddy. It's right here. So, what was I going to say? So next week we'll even have some more giveaways next week. So, I was going to give some stuff away this week, but I thought I'll wait till next week. And from JCR Products, Justin Colvin Racing, we're going to give away 2 pit caddies. And we got names in there, and we might as well mix them up, pull a name out. So the first winner is Donald Stopper. I don't know anything about Donald Stopper other than he checks out the show, or he likes it and stuff. So right. Donald Stopper. I don't know why I said Stopper. He's gonna stomp me when he sees him. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here he is. Okay. Dropped one on the floor there. Blew out of my hand. Pulled 2 out, put 1 in. All right, there's 1. So the second winner is Rick Stagan. I know that guy.
Yeah.
Rick Stagan, South Bend, Indiana. You just want a JCR pit caddy. And you need to contact Justin on the JCR Products Facebook page. Send them a message. They'll probably want your address and stuff. And then you get to pick your color. You have a color choice. And Justin will gladly get those right out. So that's our 2 winners for tonight. Shane, you're off racing this weekend.
Yeah, we kick off our, I guess it'd be 2020, 2021 Mid-South season starts.
Right.
So I'll leave. They always say bright and early, but it's never really bright when I leave. We'll just say I'm leaving early in the morning.
Right. How many races are they having this year? Because they're going to what, at least 1 or 2 new raceways they haven't went to before?
Upstate is a new raceway,
right.
And Pit Pass, Tennessee is a new raceway. And I think the normal raceways we went to, we're going to twice.
Okay, so that's Slot Car Track Concord, Archdale. Turn and Burn, okay.
And American Adrenaline.
Okay.
I think there's 12 races.
Really?
I think. I could be wrong.
Okay, so that's 4 raceways that will get 2 races each, and then the 2 new races. That's 10 races.
So maybe there's 10 races.
Okay, because I know they're going to Pit Pass like next spring, pretty late.
Yeah, Pit Pass. Yeah, we were talking before the show, and I was like, gotta wait till May.
Right. Yeah, that's right, May. So, yeah, in that vein, too, Fnrs Nationals at Pit Pass Raceway in Newport, Tennessee, October 3rd and 4th, 2-day show.
Saturday and Sunday. Not to confuse you, but it's right. Those are the right dates, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, okay. Did I mess up before or something?
No. It's just some people are going to look like, oh, they got the dates messed up. Normally it's Friday and Sunday. It's like, no, it's Saturday.
Well, usually you list you'd list the second as, because everyone's going to be there practicing, but that's not a race. But that keeps like more and more interest. I think it's going to be a really big race. If you missed, I think we talked about it. So last week after the show, someone messaged me and said that we said we were going to use treated tires for the race. No. The tire it's going to be used is the Mid-America part number 41F. It is an untreated natural tire. Untreated natural tires is what works on those tracks. We've been there. We've tested. We tested everything under the sun. Six different individuals. So that tire will work. It's a 500 diameter magnesium full hub. Untreated natural rubber tire. Actually, it's premium rubber. It works. So, and it works on both tracks. So, GTP will be the first class to be run on Saturday. Hand out Phoenix motors, hand out tires, Mid-America 41F. Then we'll switch to the oval for the 4-inch stock car race. That'll be hand out Mid-America Eagle motors. The same 41F tire. Sunday morning, we'll start off with LMP on the King. Again, Phoenix motors, 41F Mid-America tires. And 4.5 we'll finish up on the oval with the handout Eagle motor and 41F tires. So, pretty much on the King track, it's kind of a body switch. I don't know how many guys will run the same car in both, but that's always a possibility. And in GTP, it's the out-of-sight B3 Bentley body. 4-inch stock car, it's the Ralph Thorne Racing Titan COT body. LMP is the Ralph Thorne Orca body. And then 4.5 is the out-of-sight 4.5-inch 072 SS Taurus body. That's the Taurus that's a non-COT and a non-extended wing. And it's not a handout body race. Clear up that confusion. You got to bring your own bodies. You got to bring the right bodies for the right class. And like I said, more and more people.
Gear, you got to bring your own gears.
You got to bring your own pinions. 11 tooth on there. No. 13 tooth on the King track. 13 tooth King track and 11 tooth on the oval. So 64 pitch. No 72 pitch. 70. No 72. 64 only. And of course, parts will be available for sale at the raceway in case someone forgets or has the wrong stuff.
Look, I get there and realize, oh, I left my gearbox in Charleston.
There you go.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah, there's right now there's guys coming from California. Talked to a guy today in New York. Guys from Ohio. I mean, they're coming in from all over the place. So
yeah. South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia.
Yep.
Indiana.
Yep.
Illinois. Yep. California.
I think Florida.
Yeah, probably Florida. Ambrose comes up.
Yeah, I think he's talking about it.
Yeah,
so
that'd be cool. I haven't seen Ambrose in a while.
Right. Oh, there's even a few old wing car racers, or I say old wing cars. That sounds bad. I don't mean they're old in age, but they raced wing cars.
You're allowed to talk about old wing car racers
because I am R1. Yeah, I am R1.
Yeah, it'd be different if I said it. It'd be so.
Right. Yeah, because like Les Wright and Mike Krebs and some of those guys.
Just remember, I was the one they called him old.
Yeah. Ron. Yeah, because like Krebs and Les and Vince Brown, they've been going down there racing because they want to race. They're racers. They want to race, and not much wing car racing going on anywhere, and so they're starting to play with the flexi cars.
I think Les is there almost every week, isn't he?
Almost.
Yeah, I think he said it was about a 2-hour ride for him.
Yep, he was the winner last week in LMP, I believe.
I believe you're correct.
Yes. So.
BDP.
Yep. So yep.
You said LMP.
Oh, okay, LMP. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. I'm hungry.
Yeah. I've had dinner. Did all that stuff.
Right. So, yep. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the COVID stuff stays away. Because like right now, again, as explained to some people, at this time, masks are mandatory. There's no limit on people in the building. We'll do our best to social distance, but we will run 8 guys on the track at a time, unless something pops up. We have to change that. But right now, it's going to be a normal
state mandate, or however they say it.
It's going to be a normal slot car race with some people will be wearing masks and some people won't. But
did you see in the picture? I mean, this could possibly be an idea for us to do. But the one race you were talking about in Italy, they had kind of like a little COVID stand set up where before you entered the track, they took your temperature.
Right, I see that.
You had to wash your hands with
sanitizer,
and you had to wear a mask.
Right.
I've seen that, and I was like, well, I guess that's one way to do it,
Right. I don't know. It's a thought. We can think about it between now and then.
Right.
Again, we just got to see where it's at in another.
Either that or just people use common sense.
Right.
Well,
again,
good.
Like I've said since day one, if you're not feeling good and you're feeling sick, you probably need to stay home. Not just for yourself, but for others as well.
For others. Yeah, don't be selfish.
Right. And
you may think it's just a common cold, but
right. And I guess
I get it, and I'm on my deathbed.
Right. Right. And I guess if you think you got a common cold and you still want to go to the race because we don't know who's sick and who's not. I don't know how you feel or what's going on in your head or your sinuses.
Right.
If you're having something going on there and you still want to go, then you probably should bring your mask and protect the rest of us. So.
Right.
Anyway, so.
There you go. Just some thoughts.
Yeah, it's a day-by-day basis with this whole deal. It's a day-by-day basis for everybody.
Yep.
Like I said, since last week, two series have already delayed their starts or postponed their starts.
Right.
And see a lot of it too. Some states, your employer is saying if you go out of town over the weekend or something or for business, when you come back, you got to self-quarantine for 2 weeks before you can come back to work. So. That's why some of the stuff's being delayed too.
Job sites I go to that you have to fill out a release form before they allow you on the job site. They take your temperature and all that.
Right.
And two of the questions is note. Have you visited or been in Washington State in the last 2 weeks? Which I haven't really quite figured that one out yet. But they asked that. And then they've asked, and then the other question is, have you left the country in the last month and returned?
So the state of Washington or Washington, D.C.?
The state of Washington.
Oh, something's going on there I don't even know about. I know that.
Yeah, that's why I read it, and it's like,
well, I know that
all right. Yeah, like, no, I haven't been to Washington, so and I haven't left the country, so.
Right. New York, New York State added a couple more, 2 or 3 more states to their list of, I guess, I won't say banned travelers, but you have to fill out paperwork.
Right. It's
so
just the 2 job sites, which, I mean, they're 2 very, very large job sites where there's probably 500 plus people working on them.
Right.
You know,
right.
And whatnot. So I get it.
So, yeah. So anyway, we'll keep you posted as this goes on, what's going on, you know, best we can. And, you know, other series are starting in the next few weeks, and everybody else is on schedule. But again, we don't.
I'm sure this weekend there'll be some races with masks, some without. You know, some kind of.
Yeah.
And stuff. I mean, I totally respect that. I totally understand it.
Right.
You know.
Right. No,
Yeah.
If people want to wear a mask, I mean, that's on them, and I got.
We talked before. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I got no problem with that. You know.
Which I think in the state of North Carolina, you have to wear a mask.
So are you saying you have to wear a mask at the race this weekend, or no?
I think it's kind of 50-50.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything out of line, then it raises a big hoo-ha. So
okay.
I'm going to say I'm wearing a mask this weekend.
Okay, because I know that in North Carolina, they still have a lot of restrictions going on. Right. But I don't know. But you know what? I cannot keep up with every state and what's going on.
I'm the same way. I keep a mask on me at all time, and if I see the sign, you know, that makes it so, like, for instance, where I get fuel at, for the longest time, you can go in.
Right.
You know, if you fueled up, you could get a free drink.
Okay.
And you didn't have to wear a mask. People would wear masks. It wasn't mandatory.
Right.
And I went and got fuel the other day, and I didn't get my fuel receipt. So I was like, well, great, I need to go inside. And I was walking up to the door, and I wouldn't think to put my mask on because we never had to wear it. But nope, right there in big lettering, mask are mandatory now.
Yeah, well.
Turned around, went back to the truck, grabbed my mask, and I was like, all right, no problem.
We've been mandatory for 3 weeks, and half the time I still wind up walking back to get the mask.
Like other fuel stations I go to, I know, but like this one, for the longest time, you didn't have to wear it. And then all of a sudden, I guess they finally just was like, no, everyone else is doing it. We're kind of, you know.
Well, they may have had somebody get sick, and they're like, you know what, we're just gonna do this.
Right.
So.
I mean, the day I went to Walmart, you had to wear a mask.
Yeah, they went nationwide with that like 4 weeks ago. So.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got nothing else. Word of the show.
I can't even think of a word of the show.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Yeah.
I was going to leave it up to you.
Let me think here.
I'll let you think here.
Yeah.
I've already got a choice, but hey.
Well, if you got one, go for it. You put the pressure on me.
It's not really a word, but we're going to go with JCR because, you know, they gave us stuff.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, see, there you go.
So, all right.
JCR is the word of the show for this 150th episode.
Our 3-year anniversary.
Well, we're starting our 3rd year, so.
So technically 2. I wonder if I did this for a full year or not yet.
Oh, probably so. Well, probably more than a year.
Look at my resume and see when it was submitted.
Yeah, probably more than a year. Yeah, just go on the channel and scroll down till you find it. That's what I had to do. I had to scroll down all the episodes of figure. When was the first episode? I mean, they're all in order, but you know, and then I had to click on it to see the date it was published. So,
gotcha.
Because I knew that August is at some point in August is the anniversary. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, when does a birthday turn into an anniversary, or how's that work? Don't know, don't care, but secret word of the show, JCR. And till next week, episode number 151. If you're going racing this weekend, be safe, good luck, have a good time. Hopefully we will talk about you on the show next week. And until then, we're out.
We'll see you.